The World Food Program issues a warning that 2023 could be even worse for the current food crisis. Food prices remain stubbornly high and the crisis is not over yet. Currently, the main challenge is food prices. But if issues such as the availability and affordability of fertilizer are not addressed, the crisis could turn into a crisis of availability. Food inflation together with currency value loss is a toxic combination, making purchasing food in international markets unaffordable for many people. Bread, a staple food for many, might become hard to find in 2023 due to the continuation of Russia's war in Ukraine. Many bakeries and factories may struggle to obtain the necessary ingredients to make bread, leading to a potential shortage. Sunflower seed and oil, a major source of vegetable oil, may become scarce in 2023, as 52% of globally traded sunflower seed and oil came from Ukraine. The current shortage of palm oil in Indonesia will only compound the problem. Pet food may also become hard to find in 2023 due to the ongoing aluminum shortage, labor shortages, the supply chain crisis, and the increased demand. Fertilizer prices have increased dramatically due to war-induced sanctions and export restrictions, and are likely to remain high through 2023 according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. In an agricultural system that heavily relies on fertilizer inputs, escalating production costs mean farmers might have to adjust how much fertilizer they apply or grow alternate crops that require less fertilizer. The global diesel shortage is causing significant challenges for farmers, with prices nearly 50% higher than they were a year ago and reserves at the lowest level since 1951. The diesel shortage is affecting not only the cost of running farm equipment, but also other farm products such as fertilizer and chemicals. The rising cost of diesel is putting a strain on farmers' bottom lines, as they are unable to control their sales prices and are facing rising input costs. The diesel shortage is causing farmers having to adapt and learn how to do more with less, making it hard to keep up with the rising inflation. Thousands of cattle were killed due to excessive heat and were dumped into a Kansas landfill by beef companies. The heat waves in southwestern Kansas lasted over a month and killed at least 2,000 cattle, according to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment. Cows that die of heat stroke are typically brought into processing plants, but these facilities were already overwhelmed. The world's largest outbreak of bird flu that started back in February 2022 and has infected nearly 60 million birds, resulting in the loss of over 40 million hens and high egg prices. More than 58 million birds have been infected, resulting in the loss of more than 43 million egg-laying hens and subsequent high egg prices, according to the USDA. A new tick-borne disease known as Theileria is killing cattle in the US. The disease is spreading rapidly across the country, with cases reported in several states in the US. The disease does not have a treatment, leaving farmers with few options to protect their herds. Theileria could cause significant production losses for the livestock industry, which could have a significant impact on individual operations and the entire industry. Theileria is a disease that causes cows to abort their fetuses and lead to severe anemia. Eating locally caught freshwater fish could expose people to concerning levels of a forever chemical known as PFOS. The study published in the journal Environmental Research raises concerns about the risks to humans of ingesting the chemicals through food consumption. Researchers found fish with detectable levels of PFOS in all 48 continental U.S. states. Eating one fish a year was equal to ingesting water with PFOS at higher levels than what the Minnesota Department of Health considers a safe level for drinking water. The Netherlands plans to shut down 11,000 farms in order to reduce nitrogen emissions and meet the government's climate goals. The plan is causing widespread protest among farmers, who are concerned that the plan will destroy their livelihoods and the country's agricultural industry. Suicide rates among farmers are higher compared to other occupations, according to a study by the CDC. Suicide rates overall have increased by 40% in less than 2 decades. The crisis is a result of a cascade of events, including plummeting commodity prices, rising debt, bad weather, and trade tensions. India is facing an epidemic on farmer suicides, with nearly 30 people in the farming sector dying by suicide each day. The situation for India's agricultural workers is dire, with environmental degradation and extreme rates of cancer linked to pesticide exposure. The economic instability of the farming industry in India is compounded by other issues, such as the Green Revolution and a lack of government support. Sri Lanka has abandoned an experiment in organic agriculture due to its negative impact on the economy and humanitarian crisis. The government imposed a nationwide ban on synthetic fertilizers and pesticides and ordered farmers to switch to organic methods. The ban also devastated the tea crop, the country's primary export and source of foreign exchange. The ban caused a significant drop in living standards for many Sri Lankans and plunged 500,000 people back into poverty. The World Economic Forum claims that global population is projected to reach 9.7 billion by 2050, requiring an additional 2 billion people to be fed. According to the World Economic Forum, lab-grown meat is also an alternative to conventional farming methods. Lab-grown meat still rely on the use of fetal bovine serum, a nutrient-rich mixture made from blood of slaughtered cows, which may not be appealing to animal rights advocates. The cost of lab-grown meat may still be too high for the average consumer, making it less accessible to a wide range of people. The taste and texture of lab-grown meat may not be identical to traditional grown meat, which could be a deterrent for some consumers. The scale of lab-grown meat may not be able to meet the current demand for meat, making it less viable as a replacement for traditional farming methods. There are still questions about the long-term safety and health implications of consuming lab-grown meat, which may make some consumers hesitant to try it. The World Economic Forum also claims that insect farming for food and animal feed could offer an environmentally friendly solution to the impending food crisis. While it is true that insects are a good source of protein, they are not necessarily a complete source of nutrition and might be low in certain essential vitamins and minerals. Some studies suggest that the environmental benefits of insect farming are not well established yet, and more research is required to understand the true impact on the environment. Let's not overlook the existing data and weigh all options before jumping on the insect farming bandwagon. Is there a globalist agenda trying to destroy individual countries' ability to grow food? This is rapidly taking shape in Western Europe. With a combination of draconian legislation, unfortunate events, and potential sabotage, the available output of food is being shortened.